Alright everybody, Lovecraft Country, episode 5. Why you gotta be so nasty? Like, just nasty. So, if you want to hear somebody enthusiastically talk about TV shows, movies, do trailer reactions, this is the place for you. Subscribe to the channel, follow the page if you're watching on Facebook. But let's talk about Lovecraft Country, episode 5. Bro, why you got to be so nasty, man? Like, that thing was nasty today. And that's the best I can say. Now, not to linger on the nastiness, but I do want to give you my overall view before I get into like why I call this episode so gross. The A storyline is Ruby in the white skin. Great storyline. Good opportunity for that character to see things from a different perspective and find out some things that she may not have known. The B storyline is Montrose and Montrose's whole situation. And the C storyline is Tick and Latisha, which is, I guess, okay, but more along the lines of confirming some things about them and planting some seeds for the future. The thing I like the most about the episode is that, as hard as it was for me personally, a conservative type, don't like to see too much sex, don't like to see anything super duper graphic on a regular basis, this episode was hard to watch. But I love the way that the A plot and the B plot merged, and both were about the main characters of those plot lines finding freedom by embracing who they really are. You have Ruby acting out, and she could have acted out in the white skin, but it was more satisfying, more gratifying for her to do what she did to end that storyline and reveal that, yo, it's been a black woman under here the whole time. You've been played. I'm sure it was very gratifying for the character. It made sense as far as the story goes if you watch the whole episode. The Montrose storyline. Oh man, listen. I really enjoyed the acting by Michael K. Williams with the climax of that storyline. Maybe that's not the best choice of words. I'm gonna keep it. Like when he finally embraced who he was in the little party, and like he really showed joy about feeling free in that moment, and that was very cool to see. And again, it paralleled Ruby just embracing who she was at the moment and feeling freedom, feeling vindication, feeling justified. But let's talk about what was just so nasty about the episode. Starting off with Tick and Latisha. Why they had to go booty naked? Like, she went booty, butt cheeks naked for the sex scene. I'm like, why are we doing all that? As I'm watching it, I was doing a little something on the side, whipping up some things on the side as I'm watching on the iPad, and I'm thinking like, man, how are we gonna be? Are we gonna go all the way with this scene? Or are we gonna fade to black? Nah, we still going. We still going. Okay, how far are we going? And then like after she took everything off, then they still kept going, and I'm like, what is being added by having this? But hey, I will say the final conversation between Tick and Latisha kind of brought it home to where she made it clear, like, yo, you're special to me. This is why I'm doing these things. I didn't want to do these things if I didn't think I was doing those things with someone special, which is something that could be discussed in greater detail, probably in a different video or maybe in a different context. I think of as a father to a daughter, like, yeah, saying that this is special, a man telling you like what we have is special. I don't feel like that's enough, but I'm gonna be a hard person. So anyway, we can move on from that. All right, let's go to the Ruby storyline. What makes that so nasty is the idea that, one, the way the skin was peeling off every time, like, bruh, that was kind of hard to watch. Then the thought of William really being Christina. It's like, how long has this been going on? Now you make me want to go back and watch all the other episodes and see where we saw them together after the house collapsed. Like, what? When did this start happening? Is this only for this plot line, or is this for something else. Like, I don't know. I'm very confused as to when is William William and when is William really Christina. I don't know. That was nasty. To see that skin fall off, to see Christina bust out of William, just kind of traumatized. Like, that's nasty. But the nastiest storyline belongs to Montrose. And I know people might be thinking like, oh, you wrong, you picking on the gays. That is not what I'm picking on. You know what I'm picking on? You know what I felt as I watched the episode? Like, oh, that's nasty. One part of one scene. Here it is. When that boy spit in his hand. Now listen. I know in all the movies, the Brokeback Mountains and all the ones that's like that, there's the scene of the spit in the hand. I'm okay if that's how it's really done. You know what I'm not okay with? What was that boy eating? Like, did he go all day and just not swallow? Like, oh man, I rewound it. Not the whole scene, just him spitting in his hand. It's like the boy had a mouth full. I know it was kind of muted at the time. They had some music over the top. I guess they didn't want to give all the hacking noises because there's no way in the world that this dude didn't just he had to do one of them to get that much spit in his hand. Bruh, that almost made my stomach turn. Then you gonna put that in somebody? Come on, son. Do they not make Vaseline in the 1950s? Come on. Like, what y'all doing out here, bruh? Oh, man. When I saw that, I was like, bruh, that is nasty. I don't know how you can continue forward with what you're doing. I found that to be very upsetting. He had to cough up a whole lung to get that much spit out. Like, he needed to get his glands checked up in here, all up in there. Like, cause you overactive in the, yeah, up in there. You a little too overactive in with the mouth juices, cause there's no way that you should be able to spit one time, just a regular, and that much come out. Ah, bruh. Besides that, the scene with him and the bar owner was super graphic. But I get it. I get why you make it that graphic and you show as much as you showed. And the camera didn't focus on like the sexual nature of it. It focused on the emotional nature of it with the hand holding and such. And I guess. But yeah, you know, that storyline was actually, it made sense. It tied everything up. The guy in Boston really wasn't lying. He was, you know, planting seeds, and those seeds came to fruition this episode. Not as hard on the episode as one might have imagined. It's just like, I feel like the Tick and Latisha sex was too much. I feel like Montrose just had way too much spit in his mouth. And their scene, I feel like their scene was quite graphic. But besides that, I feel like, you know, the episode was pretty doggone good. Especially the Ruby, you know, the A story. That was nice. I've dedicated myself to stick with the show, so I'll be back next week with another episode of the Lovecraft, you know, spoiler talk, talking about it. I'm also going to be doing some movies once the movies open up around my area. But until then, I'll be doing The Boys and any other trailers that we get dropping in the near future about shows that's coming out. I know we got The Mandalorian coming, so looking forward to that. I'm going to do some weekly videos on that as well. So again, subscribe, like the page, share the video, follow the page on Facebook, do all the things. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and swallow sometimes. Like, you can swallow. Don't do like Montrose and hold it all in. That's nasty.